stop everything. 3 massive stories coming your way. Martin O'Neill speaks out on the Scottish market and the Kieron Bowie question. He reveals a surprise new role for one so-called outcast. And then the final story, a transfer offer is on the way and the player is ready to seriously consider Celtic. That last one changes everything. Stay with me right to the end. We bring you daily news to keep you right up to date with the mighty Celtic. Hit subscribe and join in. Watching Martin O'Neill deal with this window, you actually feel for the man. And that's not something I say lightly. He's walked back into Celtic not just to fix a team that had lost its way, but to run a January window with no head of football operations, no head of scouting, and no head of recruitment. Let that sink in for a second. This is a club chasing titles, not a Sunday league outfit down Sucky Hall. Yet there he is, sleeves rolled up, standing in front of the cameras, carrying the weight with Sean Maloney beside him, while certain people across the city would be delighted to see chaos. 2 wins, 2 clean sheets, stability restored on the pitch, and suddenly you remember why this man has statues and songs. The standards are back, even if the infrastructure behind him is paper-thin. Transfers, though, remain the elephant in the room. Every striker with a pulse has been linked to Celtic, but when Kieron Bowie's name came up, O'Neill didn't dodge it. He looked straight at the so-called Scottish market and said, yes, there are players here who can play for us. That matters. That's respect for the league, and it's also a reminder that quality does not magically disappear once you cross the border. He was equally honest about numbers. 1 striker might not be enough. A loan, even 2 bodies in the door, just to give the squad oxygen until the end of the season. That's not reckless talk. That's survival talk from a manager who understands the calendar and the pressure better than anyone, especially with Europe still lurking and the league demanding perfection every week. What he wants is simple, and that's the frightening part. Someone who can put the ball in the net, or someone who can hold it up and bring others into play. He even gave Dyson a nod, pressing, nearly scoring, causing chaos. That's the profile. Not fancy spreadsheets, not vanity signings, just footballers who improve what's already there. O'Neill knows the numbers matter. He knows the quality matters more. And while others would freeze under this level of disorder, he's calmly telling you that if you can bring in someone as good as what you have or better, you do it. And that's leadership, that's Celtic thinking, and it's miles away from the noise coming from Ibrox, where excuses are always easier than solutions. Here's the question for you, and don't dodge it. Should Celtic take the risk and bring in multiple strikers now, even short-term, or trust O'Neill to squeeze every last drop from this squad and gamble on quality later? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's giant luldy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic daffs. So now we get a proper glimpse into how Martin O'Neill actually sees Michel-Ange Balikwisha'S. And let me tell you, it's not where most people thought this story was heading. The Belgian lad came in for £5 million from Royal Antwerp, arrived with a bit of hype, a bit of edge, and ever since that debut at Ibrox, things have just never really clicked in green and white. Limited minutes, hooked early, then quietly missing from squads, especially since O'Neill walked back through the door again. You can feel the uncertainty around him, but here's the twist. O'Neill hasn't written him off. Far from it. He's been clear that Balikwisha'S is waiting for his chance, and that chance looks like it's coming in the Scottish Cup against Auchinleck Talbot. Plastic pitch, awkward tie, classic banana skin. Exactly the kind of place where a player either sinks or shows something. What caught my attention was O'Neill spelling out his vision, no dancing around it. He doesn't see Balikwisha'S as a winger, not now, maybe not ever, and he's definitely not a striker. In O'Neill's mind, this lad is a number 10, central, between the lines, someone who links, finds pockets, and makes others better. That alone tells you the manager sees football brain before raw pace. He even hinted that under the right manager, Balikwisha'S might be as good as anything already at the club. That's a big statement, and it's not flattery. That's O'Neill planting a seed, saying this player hasn't been fully understood yet. Training time has been limited, international duty got in the way, but now the manager wants a proper look, even if it's on a surface everyone hates. It does bring back memories of other players shoehorned into new roles, some that worked, some that didn't. And it also raises questions about recruitment. Was he signed as a winger without a clear plan? Or is this the moment the penny finally drops? Sunday is massive for him, not just minutes, but meaning. Impressed there, and suddenly his Celtic career gets a second breath. Fail, and the whispers only get louder. Across the city, they'd love nothing more than another expensive misfire. But this is still our shirt, our player, and our manager backing his own judgment. So here's the question for you. Is turning Balikwisha'S into a number 10 inspired O'Neill genius, or another example of Celtic trying to fix a signing that never quite fit? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's jai it. Loldy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic dafts. So now Celtic are circling in Germany, and this one feels a bit more calculated than the usual January noise. Aurele Amenda, 21 years old, Swiss international, currently stuck on the fringes at Eintracht Frankfurt, and right at that dangerous point in a career where minutes matter more than reputation. 466 minutes all season tells you everything. Talent there, pathway blocked. What's interesting is the timing. Amenda has been called up by Switzerland again and again, but he's warming the bench every single time. World Cup ambitions don't survive like that. His agent has basically laid the cards on the table. If there's a move where Aurele actually plays football, not just trains nicely and smiles for photos, they will seriously consider it. That's code for we're ready to go. Now, this is where Celtic come in. According to Germany, we're one of several clubs sniffing about. But let's be honest, Nice, Lorient, Mainz, and Valencia don't offer what Celtic can right now. Big club, relentless schedule, pressure every weekend, and a manager who trusts defenders to grow through responsibility. If you want minutes, that means something Glasgow beats sitting quietly in mid-table obscurity. The plan being floated is a loan, and that makes sense. Frankfurt don't want to weaken without cover. Their sporting director has already knocked back approaches, and they'll need convincing. But a loan shifts the risk. For them, it's development. For Celtic, it's depth, athleticism, and someone hungry to prove himself, not someone coming up for a quiet payday. You can also feel Martin O'Neill's fingerprints on this. Young defender, international experience, physically ready, mentally frustrated. That's exactly the kind of player who responds to trust and structure. And let's be clear, after what we've watched defensively this season, fresh legs with ambition would not go amiss. Across the city, they'll sneer and call it another gamble. But that's rich coming from a club that mistakes noise for progress. Celtic don't need headlines, they need solutions. If Amenda wants a lifeline and we need energy and competition at the back, this could suit everyone. The key question is whether Frankfurt blink because the player wants out. The agent is talking openly, and the clock is ticking on his international future. January windows don't wait for perfect conditions. So here's the real debate for you. Should Celtic push harder and force this Amenda loan through? Or is trusting another young defender mid-season a risk we simply cannot afford right now? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's jai it. Laldi till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic daffs.